Hello everybody, welcome back to the episode of Trails to Daybreak 2. In the last parts, we did the 7th floor of the Marching Garden, and we ran around the city, got a lot of food, and all that kind of nonsense. And that's it. We reunited with Sarah and Shahina, so it was nice seeing those two again. I was kind of hoping that they would pop up eventually. We still have yet to find our other missing companion, though, Bergard. He's still yet to make his appearance, so I wonder if he's actually in this gang. Maybe he'll pop up here. Who knows? So we got some 4 SPGs we gotta do. Before that, though, let me learn all these recipes, eat all this food. That's so much food to eat.
ごちそうさまでした。
食った食った。
美味しかったです。
満腹だ。
大満足です。お腹いっぱいです。
I got so much food. Jesus Christ! How did I stocked up with so much fucking food?
ごちそうさん。ごちそうさん。食った。染み渡るぜ。
So much food. Damn it! I think I leveled up like 3 times for gourmet food. All right.
どれどれ。
What we got here? Oh, Monster and Dirk Memorial? Oh, fine. I guess we'll do that first. Let me guess, is that on the other side of Dirk Memorial? Because there was 2 different exits. Yes, it's probably over here, right? I'm gonna assume it's over here. Maybe not. Maybe not. Alright.
よし、向かうぞ。
Ah, cool. Big slug monster. Back again. Alright.
行くぜ。援護するぜ。
後期です。炎よ、我らに息吹を。アーロンさん。
Alright, man.
ブーストが有効だぜ。
How do you miss a giant slug?
チャンスです。それ。
頼む、アリエス。
チャンスです。ドライブを開始します。ここです。好きにはさせません。ドライブを開始します。ブーストが有効だよ。
I don't know that blind nonsense I see on you.
バンさん。おまけです。
行くぜ。よ。
ブーストゲージリミット解除。スキル発動。
行くぜ。
Nice.
バトンタッチだ。僕に任せて。
この調子でいきましょう。ドライブ開始。それ。行きます。ドライブを開始します。
Alright.
託します。主役のチャンスよ。いつでも行けるわ。
No buffs for you.
帰り。ブーストゲージが拡張
No
したよ。
buffs.
それ。
チャンスだ。
フルブースト全開よ。決めて。
逃がすかよ。吹き飛べ。 リウス。
ドライブを開始します。
Let's not do that.
見切った。
Nah, you brat!
そこまでだ。
Have I seen Divine Phoenix yet? I don't know if I've seen this yet.
やあ。
見切った。
やあ。
行くぜ。
Nice.
崩れた。
Damn slug!
レベルアップだ。
Nice. Gaiaverse.
これで幕引きだ。
報酬が振り込まれた。
Cool. I still need more chaos. I'm seriously sitting behind in some chaos right now. It's so far behind. Alright. That one's done. That was easy.
行こうか。
Quick and easy work on that one. Alright. So what do we have here?
今年の景気はどうかの。
My name is Conrad. I'm a mediator for foreign individuals. There's some migrant workers, primarily from Papyrus, Northern India. Okay. I'll get the full story when I talk to the man.
噂なんだけどな。
今日の買い物は。
Well. Hello, Conrad. You the Conrad that posted the request? We're from Arkwright Solutions. Oh, yes. You really do look dependable. It's just as the rumor said. Wait, isn't that guy? I'm assuming you're the one who will recommend our services? You're the editor-in-chief of that one gossip rag. We met sometime last year, didn't we? Gotta say, though, you picked an awfully lovely place for our meetup this time. Wouldn't suppose there isn't a reason for that? This year is quick on the uptake as ever in Arc Ride. Having a loud crowd surrounding us makes it harder for people to eavesdrop. Well, anyway, you'll hear out those requests, won't you? Sound like it'd be right up your alley. If I remember correctly, you often act as the go-between for immigrants dealing with special circumstances, right? I'm not so sure about this one, guys. Migrant workers tend to get caught up in a lot of not so honest work. They get a bad rap for a reason. Believe me, I understand. The reputation they have, I understand the reputation they have better than anyone else. But there can be a lot of good red tape in their paperwork. If you want to feed their families, most have no choice but to resort to criminal means. People like that who make up a majority of my client base. Migrants unable to obtain proper work visas. In other words, migrants who have no legal right to work in this country. I've seen firsthand the problems immigrants can face. It's not pleasant. Well, if they're Eastern, you can bet Havy will take care of them. But I guess the others don't really got a lot of options. Exactly. So my job is to introduce those people to someone who can provide them work. Then I get a work finder's fee from the employee. And maybe it's not my place to say, but I believe there's a better outcome than having them starve on the streets while they wait for their papers. Well, when you put it that way. I understand why you're apprehensive. I'm sure you can, know plenty of people like him who use their job to export foreigners. It's just, well, Conrad here knows where to draw the line. Though I suppose he has sent a few people to handle some seriously dreadful menial labor. But trust me when I say he neither introduces them to illegal work nor takes cuts of their pay. Well, I guess that's as much assurance as you can get. Go ahead and give us the details then. I guess it's got something to do with those missing workers we've been hearing about? Yes. You see, after contacting me about how to work with them, they'll go missing altogether. It's been a pretty big topic concerning my line of work, though. Nobody's been able to make heads or tails of it. Honestly, if this keeps up, a worried suspicion will start to fall on both me and my colleagues. Yeah, you're right. You'd be suspect number one in no time. So what, you want us to figure out what's going on so they don't start pinning this disappearance on you guys? If you could, yes. Does that sound like something you can do? Why not? I need more chaos than gray, though. Fine. Alright, that seems like we've a pretty cut and dry issue. Plus, we can't exactly say no to a referral from the editor-in-chief. Yeah, I'm also pretty worried about the safety of those workers. Oh, thank you so much! I'm so relieved I just can't get a good sleep, you know. What could be happening to those people? And here I thought you were more worried about saving your own ass. Well, I've been doing this work for a while. You have some pretty gruesome stories about the lives the immigrants lead. You have to have a heart of stone and not sympathize with them. Well, if that's how you feel, maybe I don't have as many reservations for this job as I thought. I agree. If the lives of those migrant workers truly are in jeopardy, I see no issue in taking on this request. Do you mind going over the details once more? I can't thank you enough. I've been hesitant to consult the police of the bracers, so this is a huge weight off my shoulders. Well, looks like things are finally going your way, Conrad. I'm glad I was here to introduce you all. Anyhow, I'm a busy man, so I'll be heading off now. Feel free to decide what to do amongst yourselves. That's a real piece of work. I'm sure you'll just be fine without him. More importantly, why don't you fill us in some of the specifics? I heard something about the ones disappearing being migrants from north of Zemuria. That's right. They're the ones who've gone missing most frequently. Easterners and Central Easterners haven't seemed to be affected at all, however. Huh. Even white foreigners come here for work? They do, yes. After all, there's a number of undeveloped regions in the north. Along with those from North Umbria, the Republic also receives immigrants from the outlying areas and the free cities as well. Yeah, I used to hear all sorts of stories about the tribes up there. It's strange that they even made a target, though. We're gonna need to do some digging, particularly into the workers' backgrounds. I'm glad you share my concern. However, I believe it's best if I leave the rest to you. I'll be in the area for a while, so if you want to have any questions, feel free to ask. So, what do we want to do first? We don't exactly have much to go on. We need to find people who are familiar with not only immigrant workers, but specifically those from North Zemuria. Now that I think about it, I've heard that one subcontracting factory employs loads of them. Bet you could probably talk to some of their business partners and disclose a few dirty secrets. Exactly. The workers themselves would like to be on guard if you were to ask directly. Investigating their peripheral is definitely the better strategy. Alright then, let's head up to Bradley's first. Doing all the parts he has to order, I'm sure he's got some connection with people in the subcontracting. Not only that, he's the kind to pay attention to the small stuff. He might just have some pretty good leads. What do you think we should ask about the migrants? Gabriella used to work in the Northern Jaegers, right? Maybe she'll know something. Nah, her roots run a little too deep in the underworld. We should try talking to some more lawful immigrant populations here. In that case, we should focus on places where people from the north are most likely to gather. Come to think of it, aren't there people who run Old Town's bathhouse from Remiferia? Nice job, Agnes. It's usually pretty easy to miss something right under your nose. Well, it was more of an epiphany than anything. That being said, I think they became naturalized citizens quite a while ago. Do you think they still know what's going on in the migrant community? I think it's worth a shot. After all, northern folk take their songs pretty seriously. Even if they don't have direct connections anymore, it's likely that Laguna still serves as a central hub. Well, I suppose it's settled. We'll be heading to Bradley Maintenance in the Laguna bathhouse. Alright. I don't think I needed to go here. I did not need to go here.
では向かいましょう。
Demands.
ちょっといいか。
So you want to know about the people my suppliers employ, huh? Well, I gotta imagine they use their fair share of migrant workers. Don't they ever talk to you about them? I figured you would have known more. I mean, they don't exactly fill me on all the details, but I guess I have been hearing some strange things about them lately. Things that have gotten me concerned. I don't know if it's just what you're looking for, but I can share it with you if you'd like. That would be very helpful, Mr. Bradley. Did something happen? Right, well, where should I start? Apparently a bunch of migrant workers at one of the factories just up and quit recently. All over a few days too. I thought it was some sort of strike at first, but it doesn't seem like that was the case. There's been no contact with the workers since. That is something worrisome. Were there any warning signs? From what I've been told, management had no idea any of it would happen until it all went down. The ones who left were known to be pretty serious workers too. None of them showed any dissatisfaction with their jobs. But regardless, they all got up and rode at the same time and called it quits. I think they said something to the likes of, "This job didn't suit me," or "I deserve better." It's pretty strange they all give the same reasons for leaving. Not to mention how these were the last people you'd expect it from. It sounded like it was instigated by someone. Any word about possible third parties? Well, I wouldn't say I'm that informed. But I heard a little about something about those workers have been talking to someone on the outside. I see. Whoever that someone is must have had quite the influence on them. But quitting so suddenly? What were they planning on doing after they left? The factory was worried about the same thing. They even asked me if they had any other jobs lined up. I guess the workers seemed pretty confident that things would work out. Maybe that person they were confiding in gave them some sort of grand opportunity. Well, anyway, that's about all I know at the moment. I should mention, though, everything I heard was just complaints from my suppliers. No worries, you've been of great help. Yeah, you're really giving us a lot to think on. Alright.
行きましょう。
Hello, lady.
聞かせてもらうぜ。
Girly. Well, I know about immigrants from North Zemuria? You're right, we do see our fair share around here. Our families run from Remitharia, but we share our culture with people all over the north. In particular, we get lots of North Aubrian migrants like to stop by. They usually come in to talk to my grandma and grandpa about all their problems. I think maybe it's the workers complaining about their day. Bingo. Still, picking up on stuff like that is impressive. Tell me, have you heard anything strange lately about those workers you mentioned? Well, I guess it's not really new, but there's been some talk about them being dissatisfied with the way they're being treated. Dissatisfied with the way they're being treated? Are they being discriminated against? I think it's a little different. I mean, even though they're immigrants, they still look very like pretty much everyone else in Calvar, right? Compared to other immigrants, the ones from up north don't really stand out that much. That's true. Even immigrant advocate movements tend to focus on those from the east or central east. I'm sure it's because physiological differences are more easily identifiable. But if that idea starts making the rounds, it's not hard to imagine why northern immigrants might be treated less favorably. And it's hard to garner sympathy for them when they look like the majority of Calvar's population. So they feel like they're being left out. Is that it? Even though they're dealing with similar problems, it's harder for them to gain the same amount of sympathy. I can see how that might affect and want to make you feel trapped. Wouldn't be surprised if someone's able to use that to their advantage. Yeah, but I haven't heard a thing about anyone being swindled. So, she got it to you already, huh? I might just have some useful gossip for you all. You heard something? You better not be pulling their tail. Well, it's only something that came down with the grapevine. There's been talk of someone who can pull foreigner workers from the mirror of their jobs. Interesting. Can you tell us more? You see, I've been looking into the investment trends of social welfare services recently. While I was doing some research, I heard something about a non-profit organization that struck me as a tad peculiar. An NPO? Yes, it was only recently created too. They say they're a group that provides employment support to immigrant groups. It appears they've been luring in migrants who already have jobs with promises of better pay and working conditions. All it takes is one question. Are you really happy with where you're at right now? That's remarkably similar to what we have heard over the Bradley's place. Yes, it seems there's a good chance that someone they're consulting with is the NPO. They don't seem to be finding new jobs to the ones that quit either. In my opinion, it's all rather irresponsible of them. The least they could do is help them get back on their feet. I agree. No matter how prosperous the Republic is now, there's no guarantee that they'll be able to find another stable income so easily. Especially for those who don't have a valid work visa. It sounds like they're just increasing the number of unemployed immigrants. Why would they do that? They can't be profiting from it somehow, can that, right? It might be too late to ask this now, but what is an NPO? I've heard an NGO before. Of course, to give a simple explanation, NGO stands for non-governmental organization. On the other hand, NPO stands for non-profit organization. Both are independent from the nations and are operating to better social welfare. In general, the ones that are restricted to specific fields and act on a local level are NPOs. Those who act on an international level and cover multiple pursuits are referred to as NGOs. I see. I think I get it now. Well, if that's true, then this MPO isn't making anything any better at all. Yeah, looks like we're going to have to do some more research in this organization. Thank you for all your help, guys. You're welcome. I hope you figured out. Come on, there's no need to thanks. Just join me for the next game of Mahjong and I'll consider it even. Not me, I can't play that game for shit. Alright. Alright, why don't we let's go sit down and have a chat. With all the people in the area, it's possible to be able to pick up some extra info along the way. I think it might also be a good opportunity to inform the guild of any developments. Right, let's get going then. Station Street. Station Street. Alright, as it stands now, I think we have a pretty basic idea of what went down. I'm a bit hazy on a few details though. Let's start by putting everything in order. The base assumption is that the ones being gone missing are primarily those from the north of Zemuria. They're also immigrants that don't know have work visas. They quit their jobs all within the same time frame but vanished immediately after. And the one who pulled in the quote was an MPO. But the question is why? What could they possibly stand to gain from getting migrants to quit? It's also worrying that those who left seem to have cut off all communications. We definitely still have a lot of questions about the whole thing. If only it's something more conclusive. Why don't we just go to the source of the problem then? Let's find this MPO person, make them tell us what's going on. The problem with that is we don't actually know which MPO they're a part of. Huck didn't even give us didn't really give us any solid information. Oh, Agnes, is this that part-time job you were talking about? Hey, it's Toa! Other than Agnes and Elaine, I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting you all. I'm Toa Herschel, one of the temporary teachers from Aramis. I also work to assist ICO, the International Cooperative Organization. It's nice to meet you. Are you Agnes's teacher? Toa Herschel is also the chief instructor of the branch campus of Thor's Military Academy. I've heard she's quite the central figure there. Not only did she manage to engage its current students, but its alumni as well. Well, I don't think I'm worth that much fanfare. Girl, you have no idea. Talking yourself down like that, girl. On the other hand, I've heard more of my fair share of stories about Mr. Arkwright. I must admit, I've been looking forward to making your acquaintance. It's just as much of an honor to meet the rumored genius of Thor's. I'm told you've got your hands in all sorts of places. Perhaps we'll have the opportunity to work together sometime. Yeah, I'm sure we will. You know, actually, there are a few things we're struggling to understand at the moment. Think you can lend us a hand? Miss Toa is associated with an NGO. Did you happen to know anything about the NPOs currently operating in the Republic? What? Are you having a problem with one of them? Please, tell me everything you know. However, the response was outside their expectations. I had no idea this was something you were investigating. The NGO I'm currently associated with does its work to support area-level NPOs. What I'm looking into at the moment hasn't been forthcoming about the results of their activities. Naturally, there's been a bit of suspicion. Given the timing, I can't deny the possibility that it might just be connected to the ones we've all heard about. Also, I believe that their stated intentions are to aid the employment of foreigners in special circumstances. Well, I can't say for sure that they're the same organization, but it seems like it's most likely to lead at the moment. I agree, but would you mind allowing me to accompany you in your investigations? This could be exactly what I need for a breakthrough in my case. I won't hesitate to give you my full cooperation. Even if it isn't, it's still related to an issue with an MPO. It's my duty to follow up on it. You mean you'll help us? That would be great! Yeah, I would have been satisfied with a few user tidbits, but having you with us would be way more efficient. Even if I do end up owing you one. I look forward to working with you. Yes, I think our odds will be much better with her along. Well, now that you're welcome aboard, do you think you can share any more of your recent findings? Maybe it'll help us figure out our next steps. Actually, I do have something. I have a friend who's been looking into this group as well. I've been waiting for them to get in contact with me whenever they're found. And speak of the devil. Hello, sorry about all that extra tasks. Did you find anything useful? This friend of hers. I got the feeling they're not the member of the ICO. Outside the NGO, her friends would be... Never mind. Hey, is it someone from Class 7? I wonder who it is. Could it be Crow? Couldn't it be Green? Could it be Altina? Who knows? Could it be Angelica? Who knows? Yes, actually I found another group that was looking into the suspicious MPO. Seems for it to be a separate incident, however. What I've heard so far, I'm pretty sure the MPO we're looking into is one of the same. Anyway, you said there was movement over in the Century March? I'll head over now to check it out. Alright, sorry to keep you waiting. They managed to find something after all. As I mentioned, we're almost confident the MPO I've been looking into and the one from your case are the same organization. Their official name is the Association for Better Migrant Working Conditions. In fact, I think they're not only misappropriating funds, but they also be involved in the disappearance of migrant workers? I can't believe it! It's Toa. Regardless, it looks like we know what we need to do. You said something about there being movement over in the Century March, right? Then we should hurry. If we're quick enough, we might be able to catch them in the act. Yeesh! Alright. Do you think that's the person we're looking for? Let's catch him before he loses his trail. Barry can play good cop, and I'll play bad cop. No, we can't. He might just be an innocent bystander. Yeah, if he approached the wrong person, it could alert the guy we're actually after. We're running out of time, though. As soon as we get some confirmation, we'll make a move. I see. That person just now said he was from the Association of Better Migrant Working Conditions, right? Yeah, I'm not from Calvaris. He was asking if I was unhappy with my job. He said that in order to find more quality work, I should quit as soon as I can so that we can talk more about more other opportunities. If I'm being honest, though, I'm much more interested in having a stable income. I turned him down. Bond. Yeah, he's gotta be our guy. The name, his methods, there's no room for doubt. He can't have gone far. Let's follow him. Yes, we need to put a stop to this. The street doesn't seem to be as crowded as the others. Do you think he's going to meet someone? This might be our chance to find who's behind all this. Let's try and keep out of sight. Alright, I get it. I'll just stay behind here, stare at a wall. Speed this up along. Ah, shit. I didn't realize I was losing gauge. I wasn't paying attention. There it goes. Let's go into the back alley. Look at them. I believe that gate leads to the old sewer system. Oh, it's thinking must mean they've got a secret meeting going on. Well, it's definitely not the kind of place the employee of an MPO would drop by. The alleys pretty narrow. If we all try to cram ourselves in there, we'd be caught in no time. Mind giving us a hand, Quattro? Oh, I see. Sure, Theo should have no issue getting in. They'll be able to survey the scene for us. Theo, don't let them see you, but transmit everything in our surroundings, okay? Understood. Pursuing target in stealth mode, sending vigils and sound to Quattro Zypha. And how's today's harvest? Not as good as we'd hoped. They seem pretty content with where they are. I plan on going back to the construction areas of the suburbs. I had better luck over there. Well, I guess we do already have enough for the first camp. We shouldn't get too greedy. Anyway, delivery is right after this. You'll be there, right? Yeah, after all the trouble went through, I'll be sure to see them off. Besides, I wanted to ask the people up top who the client was. It's probably better if you keep your questions to yourself. Anyway, I'm heading down to the subway to find some runaways that fit the bill. Well, if someone comes up, just give me a holler. Did I hear that right? Yeah, this seems more dangerous than you thought. You absolutely cannot allow them to get away with this. And all the guys are trying to help. It's just too cruel. We have to do something. Target is leaving. Sounded like he was heading to the gathering place. Alright, let's keep after him. Yes, we should hurry. Alright. I get it. Speed along. Alright. This guy walks so slow. Hey. He's using a car. Looks like he's headed to the suburbs. I was able to track his license plate number. However, even if we manage to find a car, it's unlikely we'll be able to catch up to him. Maybe my friends will know his destination. Can I have a minute? Hey, you mentioned something about movement in the suburbs earlier? A bus that was transporting people? It has to be them. I saw it somewhere along Highway 8. Highway 8? That man was headed in the same direction. Then that's our next stop. Sorry about this, son, but I appreciate the info. Look into it on our hand. Don't you worry about the rest. Good luck. Give us a call if you need anything else. Who was he talking to? I want to know who she's talking to. Alright, looks like we managed to figure it out. Didn't think we'd have to end up relying on your friends again so soon. Let's go see what these criminals have got cooking. We'll put a stop to whatever they're planning. God damn it, I want to know what she was talking to. This isn't what we agreed to. You said you'd get better jobs for us. Where are you even taking us to? As I said, I'm taking you to your new employer. Just as we agreed. Besides, it's not like you were able to find anything better than many time, were you? Damn you! I should have never listened to your crap. You have no right to refuse. You're coming with us whether you like it or not. You're all living outside the law, don't you see? Just stay quiet and do as you're told. I see you found a decided to assert its true colors. Sorry, but the Dollar family won't be getting away with this one. How dare you take advantage of these people? We're putting an end to this. You target people looking for help just to do something like this? And just so you know, we've been recording these this entire time. I'm sure that was enough for a quick conviction, too. Thanks for scouting ahead, Theo. How'd you find us? Arkwright Solutions? Aren't you the ones who landed us in hot water last year? Glad to hear we had left such a good impression on you folks. Then don't gotta explain what we gotta do to scum like you, now do I? Because you don't exactly bring out the tea and cookies. You're the recruiter for the Dollar family, right? Pretty bold of you to set foot in a trade even for the Live family won't touch. You assholes must be so proud. All slave traders are the same. The only way to deal with them is to beat them senseless. Proceeding with the area lockdown. All bystanders, please retreat to a safe distance. Hey, she's got her gun! She finally pulled out her gun! You think you can look down on us? You're not going anywhere. I'll make you regret sticking your nose where it don't belong. Maybe if you get on your knees and beg, we'll consider going easy on you. Hey, she finally... Oh, look at all those assholes. She finally whipped out her gun.
行くぜ。
Let's just really that.
ブーストゲージリミット解放
Grenade! Dinky grenade! Grenade!
見切った。
失礼します
Break!
はあ
Alright.
クリミナルビュート終わりよ
Hey! Aw, killed all but one. Rip.
チャンスだやっそれそこです
And they're all dead. Easy peasy. And if you're looking for someone to blame, take it up with your leaders. All right, let's get them tied up. Damn it! They ruined everything. Well, if I can't win, I'll make sure they lose. Think again. Hey, toe in action. Let her go. How did you? Let's just say I have a lot of experience under my belt. Besides, there's no way I was about to let something like you go out after all the harm you caused. What, you really thought you forgot about you? You must be the king of wishful thinking. Yeah, no dice, man. You got a hell of a lot to answer for, and you better not skimp out on any details either. Fine, I surrender. After that, the man pretended to be part of the NPO was thoroughly interrogated. The Dollar family's foray into the slave trade was indeed a decision agreed upon by their higher-ups. However, the shell company they used as a front for the NPO was originally meant to receive illegal grant money. As for that reason they seemed to be targeting people from the north, the culprit had no idea. It was deemed to be knowledge beyond his pay grade. Thanks for handing them over to us. We had an eye on the Dollar family's activities for quite a while now. Well, I'm glad we could at least put one of their schemes to bed. Anyway, is it really okay for us to speak to the victims right now? Don't get me wrong, I'm only giving you a few minutes. Even if you do have connections to Kincaid. Just try to stay out of trouble from now on, alright? Okay, okay, I'll try to keep my head down. Excuse me, Agent Hubert? Yes, we were able to apprehend all the Mafia's collaborators. We still need to confirm the second External Affairs Division if it's related to the prior incident. From what we've learned so far, it seems that they're clients. Yes, given the demographics of the victims, I have no doubts that it's related. We'll have to do investigations into their backgrounds. Something wrong, Agent Hubert? It's nothing for you to worry about. Anyway, I'll handle the follow-up. The Integrated Analysis Division should come to a decision once they receive all of our main details. We'll talk more then. Well, as it stands, it sounds like we'll be formally taking charge of this investigation. We've appreciated your cooperation thus far. Seriously, keep your hands to yourselves from now on, okay? Yeah, no need to tell me twice. Well, I suppose since we have found all the missing immigrants, we can consider this job a case closed. Yes, I agree. However, I'm a bit worried that we're unaware as to why they're targeting migrants in the northern Zemuria. Our client was in need of people within that demographic. As for what reason, I really don't know. Yeah, it didn't really seem that the guy was lying about that part either. Come to think of it, that guy from the CID said they were still worried about that particular client of the Dollar families. Demand for people from the poorest walks of life. It's not hard to imagine what they plan to do with them. Yes, but we don't have any proof of any even further intentions they may have. We'd have to do a more thorough investigation. Well, that can wait for now. I think we should worry about getting these people back home first. Alright. Alright, like rooting for Conrad. So, at the end of the day, it was the Dollar family behind it all. I'm not completely sure why they had such specific targets, but I did manage to bring everyone back safely. Thank goodness. I'm glad he asked for your help after all. I must say, I'm surprised that this was a scheme by the Mafia, though. How can they be so cruel? I'm worried about the victims will have a hard time recovering from the trauma. Yes, that is a valid concern. and as immigrants without valid work visas, they have little protection under the law. They are manipulated out of their chance for stability. Even if they were to report their damages to the police, they might just end up being arrested and deported. The guild should have no issue with taking them in as a form of humanitarian sanctuary, but I suppose considering their unlawful status, there would be a limit to how much they could do with their officials were to intervene. You probably had to dismantle all the laws from the past century to get anything done. Man, this sucks. How do you want to deal with this, Chief? Well... if you put him to the guild in the ICO, you get law +5. If you do Conrad, you get chaos +5. I'm severely lacking in chaos, so Conrad. I prefer to leave this up to you, Conrad. Vaughn? Well, I suppose that is part of my job. You just want me to place them all back in the steel positions, right? I don't mean to sound so unsure, but is this really how you want to handle things? I get the feeling you're someone who actually cares about these people. Plus, you got the editor-in-chief vouching for you, right? That sounds like a good guy in my book. Honestly, I'm not so sure about this. Yeah, it kinda sounds like you're leaving to a chance. Look, these people must have some pretty good reasons for taking the risk to come in and work in the Republic. And Conrad's done all this before, hasn't he? He knows his way around both the police and the immigration. He'll get them jobs in no time. Isn't that right? Yes, I'll take full responsibility and help them onto their feet once more. I'll admit, I do have my fair share of connections. It should be fairly simple to secure decent jobs for all of them again. As a member of the guild, this isn't something I can officially condone. Are you sure this is the choice you want to make, Vaughn? Yeah, Spriggan's gotta be steadfast in decisions, you know? I think this is the best way to deal with the situation. Besides, it's not like I plan to leave it up to this guy alone. I don't trust him that much. If he goes back on his promise, I'll make sure he pays for it. Alright, I suppose we'll see how it plays out. Naturally, if anything happens, the guild will have no choice but to intervene, just so you're aware. Anyway, thank you all for your help. The workers were saved and I don't have to keep looking over my shoulder. I'll deposit the money into your account as soon as I can. Works for me. If you ever need help with anything else, just let us know. I have to make sure I give my thanks to Cunning again, too. Well, I guess I'll be heading off now. I need to gather the crew and discuss our steps going forward. I think it's about time I'm on my way as well. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to discuss that at the next ICO meeting. We'll probably have to do a bunch of research too. Thank you so much for your help, Miss Toa. We wouldn't have been able to solve this case without you. Yeah, I'd heard you were good, but you really pulled out all the stops. I might even come to you for help for our future jobs. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Farewell, Agnes. Good luck with everything. I still want to know who you were talking to. Well, we're done here, right? This whole thing left a pretty bad taste in my mouth. There's a few things I'm still worried about, personally, but we can at least rest assured that the victims will be taken care of. I think we can go ahead and call this a case closed. We should keep the whole situation in mind for the future, though. Yeah, if those villains ever show their face again, I'll tear them a new one. I'm sure the guild will have to raise their alerts after hearing about all this. This is just a hint of what's going on in the underground. We might want to deal with the situation before it devolves even further. I'm worried that something like this will happen again. Vaughn and Toa seem to have the suspicions of who the mastermind is, though. What the CID has said about certain demographics being targeted, maybe... Will we get a part 2 to that side quest? Who knows? Alright, tell me what you learned on our main investigation. I still haven't been able to find any details about their plan. Okay, so she's talking to a man. Crow? Could it be Crow? Anyway, it does seem like there's a chance they may need to take action soon. I assume that's why the CID has been on the defense against this second generation recently. So that's how they're connected. I'll continue the investigation on my end. Depending on how it entails, I may have to get help from Angie or George. Hey! So it's not those two, so it's gotta be Crow. And the incident that Reen was worried about could also be a part of this. What the fuck's Reen worried about? Okay, so she's not talking to Reen. It's gotta be Crow. It's gotta be Crow. Regardless, the ball's in our court now. We need to find out exactly what's going on. As those who dealt with the shadows of the Empire, we might even say it's our duty. It is Crow! It's gotta be! Right. This isn't about the future Republic or the Empire. It's about the future. Let's get our best going forward, Crow. I knew it! It's Crow! Hey, Crow!
これで幕引きだ。
入金を確認したわ。
My boy Crow's coming in helping us even though he's not in this game. I don't need any more gray, apparently. Alright, there we go. Ooh. Alright. Hey! What the fuck is Reen worried about? How does Reen tie into all this? Alright. Guess we'll never know. Maybe there's a part 2 to this whole thing coming up eventually. Alright, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Because we're getting close to time. When we come back, we got one more 4SPG we gotta do. So we'll do that next time. And then we will finish up our rounds around the city. So, I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you then. Later.